Hey guys, welcome to the second part of my Smash Bros. OC challenge. In the first part, I did the first 4 series, and this time around, I'm going to do the next 4. So let's just go ahead and jump right into it. So first up we have Yoshi, and this was probably the hardest one, Yoshi being a sub-series of the Mario universe. It was kind of hard for me to decide for an art style. Did a lot of research on a lot of characters that were introduced in Yoshi games. A lot of them had very particular proportions, a lot of them had beady little eyes with no eye whites, a lot of them had like striped pants. When it came to what kind of character I wanted to make from the Yoshi universe, Yoshi is the only character of the original 8 base characters from Smash Bros. 64 who doesn't have an antagonist counterpart playable. So I wanted to make kind of like a bad guy counterpart to Yoshi, and so I figured that in Yoshi's Island, you know, he has Baby Mario, Baby Luigi. What would I want from an antagonist? And I figure probably somebody who would like want to kidnap kids or kidnap babies. I ended up with the Japanese mythical animal Kappa. So in traditional Japanese folklore, Kappas kidnap children and drag them to the bottom of the ocean. Of course, in the Yoshi universe, that would be a little too morbid. I don't think he would want to kill the babies. I think much like Baby Bowser with the Happy Tree, he would probably want to kidnap the babies and use the source of their happiness to maybe power a super weapon he has to take over the world or something like that. And so because he's a Kappa, I wanted to keep him relatively small, kind of around the same size and proportions as Yoshi himself, so they could kind of go toe to toe. And that's where I landed with this character, my original character from the Yoshi universe, Camber. So for Kirby, this one was a lot of fun for me. I realized that in Kirby Dream Land 1 and 2, there are 2 separate trios of these animal friends, and in each group there was a character who helped you move through the air, a character who helped you move through the land, and a character who helped you in the water. The first trio was a hamster, a fish, and an owl, and then the second trio was a cat, a jellyfish, and a small tiny bird. So I decided I wanted to make like a grouping of 3 characters kind of as a single unit of a character. If they were playable in Smash Bros., they would be more like Duck Hunt rather than Pokemon Trainer. You wouldn't switch them out, they would all 3 be together at once. I did the same kind of thing, water, land, and air animal. The water being a lobster that I called Claw, the land one being a Japanese boar that I named Bora, and the air one being a bat that I named Flick. Had fun kind of replicating how animals are usually drawn in these Kirby games. Played around with the colors a lot. I wanted to incorporate kind of a red, blue, and yellow tone to each one, have each one be like one of the primary colors, and I'm really happy with the way it turned out. So yeah, this is my original character from the Kirby universe, the Dreamland trio, Claw, Bora, and Flick. So the thing about Star Fox is all 3 of the characters who are playable in Smash Bros. Are very similar. Even Wolf is relatively similar. So I wanted to create a character who would play fundamentally different. First thing was first, I decided to do a girl since there was no girl playable character. And second, I wanted a kind of heavy character, someone who would be slow and heavy and not like really fast, and someone who would jump high. So I thought of an idea of a character who'd be like a heavy gunner. Like maybe in the Star Fox universe, she's part of the Star Fox team and she's like a designated like person who uses the turrets on like the side of a ship. Maybe becomes a sniper on some on-foot missions. And so the reason I said that was because for all of the rough drafts I was doing, I drew her with a minigun, kind of like the Heavy from Team Fortress. That's kind of how I envisioned her for a long time, and I just couldn't draw it. I'm really bad at drawing firearms, and I really couldn't draw a good pose or a good minigun, and so I ended up giving her like this big assault rifle, and it's mostly modeled after the rifle that Yoko Littner from Gurren Lagann uses. I changed it up a little bit, played with its color to make it look a little bit more like a Star Fox weapon, added a few parts to it that doesn't make it make 100% sense. It could function as multiple different kinds of guns. Maybe she could use it as a machine gun or a sniper rifle and it would just come out of the same firearm. The main thing about her design that I kind of wanted to convey is that if she was playable in Smash Bros., she would always have the large gun out, like even for her normal attacks, like her A button, she would like poke people, use it as like a battering ram, and that would also be like what was weighing her down, why she would be so slow and heavy. And so that is my original character from the Star Fox universe, Jackal. And last but not least, we have Pokemon. For recent additions, they added Greninja, and then they added Incineroar, so that's a 3rd stage evolution for both a water type and a fire type from recent generations. So I figured, alright, for my original character, I'm going to make a grass starter from just a completely undiscovered generation. You know, Greninja's very like skinny and slim, and Incineroar is very top heavy and buff, and so I'm gonna make this one like like pretty tubby, like really fat, and more of a like a heavyweight, and I thought that'd be really cute and really fun. I ended up picking a Tanuki, the mythical version of the Japanese raccoon dog. I picked this because Tanukis are often associated with leaves. They're usually depicted with a leaf on their head, and they transform leaves into gold, or in the case of Animal Crossing, they turn leaves into furniture. So I love the idea of like this big fat Tanuki who kind of looks like a bear, you know, like those big Tanuki statues, and he has the little scarf thing around him, but it's made out of leaves, and instead of a leaf sitting on his head, it's actually just like a little sproutling growing straight out of his head. So he could utilize pretty much any grass-based attack that Ivysaur doesn't have, you know, maybe Frenzy Plant, maybe he makes some vines like come out of the ground, or maybe Seed Bomb. Maybe he could even have an attack where he turns into a statue, kind of like Kirby's Down B, which isn't a Pokemon attack per se, but it's something Tanukis have been known to do. And with that, we have my original character from the Pokemon universe, Timbernuki. And with that, we have my next 4 original characters for my Smash Bros. OC challenge. Subscribe if you want to see more. I'm going to be doing this for every single franchise that's represented in Smash Bros., including DLC. I can't wait to get to Persona. And until then, I'll see you guys next time. Bye!